Who would have ever dreamed even 10 years ago that every day on the news we would be hearing of suicide bombers? It has only been about 6 or 7 years ago now that we started hearing about that. And it was like a shock to all of us when it happened, and now it is in the news on a regular basis. And you wonder sometimes when and if it is going to reach the shore of this country. And God help us to love Him and honor Him and keep His commandments, and to not be ashamed that we are a Christian nation, so that we can deter that as long as we possibly can. An advice columnist said that she received 10,000 letters a month, and asked if any one problem seemed to predominate above all the others. She said, fear. People are afraid of losing their health, their wealth, their loved ones. People are afraid of life itself. We live in a very fearful society. Life expectancy today in 2007 is much longer than it was over 100 years ago, the early 1900s, late 1800s, but our fears are greater. A poll taken among Americans, and people were asked, what are your greatest fears? And they wound up with a list of 6 top fears. Big fear number 1, the death of a loved one. By the way, do you know that is not as bad on children? And that's not as big a fear on children as is divorce. Because death gives finality and calls the person who dies to be remembered and respected. But divorce just sort of keeps on going. And I don't say that to condemn anyone who's been through a divorce. I say that to warn every other married person here tonight. If you want your children to feel stability and security in the home and not to be filled with fear, stay together. A second top fear was that of contracting a deadly or disabling disease. And, you know, just a few years ago, there were just a little handful of STDs in America. And now with all the adultery and the immorality, the STDs have exploded. And it is more dangerous than ever before to not keep yourself for one other person, and they keep their self for you. And so that the two of you wind up at the marriage altar as a couple who have kept themselves for each other. Somebody say amen right there, would you?